Pandeiguk Kunach Ashitzin wa Uchganhini Kunach Ashitzin. Ideng gashat ine likat aat idani kasnech kwan yewe.
We have always needed to think ahead. That is how we made it through some very difficult times. We've made it through harsh winters. We've done that by thinking ahead. We plan in the summertime when there is abundance, for in the wintertime when it's lean. We need to do this for our children and our grandchildren. It is just thinking in a little bit longer term than from season to season. We're thinking about from generation to generation.
Every one of us has relatives that stay in the village. We care about them. We care what happens to them. When they have to pay a high cost for energy, it hurts us that they can't even go out and get subsistence because they don't have money for gas. They have to heat their homes first.
Because there are times in many places where the family has to decide, well, do we heat the house this month or do we buy food? And that's one of the things that is just really wrong with the situation. Nobody should have to make that decision because you need both to sustain a lifestyle or just to exist.
The Tlingit culture is designed, it's based on take care of what you have so that there is some left over, something that you are leaving for the future generations. That includes money.
Wasting energy is pretty much like wasting funds, wasting money.
Most people do know the effect of energy conservation, but I think the challenge is having the discipline to continue it every day of the year.
Energy conservation, you're right, is not what is going to be the end-all solution. It is part of the solution, and where we can be a part of the solution is where we need to act. And by calling on all of our neighbors to conserve energy where they can, we are doing a big service to our land, our sea, our resources by being as efficient as possible. We all need to do it in order for it to work.
The first thing is keeping your thermostat between 62 and 68 degrees. The reason why you want to keep it at 68 degrees and lower is because that's where you're going to notice the most energy savings. And you want to keep it at 62 when you're not in the home. That means when you leave to work, when you're going on vacations, that way you're not using heat energy while no one's even in the house.
Some of the simplest ways that we can reduce energy costs in our home are the things that we kind of forget, things like wearing sweaters. If we have an alternate energy source like a wood-burning stove, things like that can really make a big difference. And actually, they end up making us feel better as well because we are, one, we're not spending as much on electricity or on fuel, but we're also doing things which are actually very comforting.
I moved into this home about 2 years ago, and I honestly never use my thermostat because if I do get cold, I usually just use my pellet stove or put on a sweater to stay warm.
Be practical, because it doesn't have to be in the high 70s. You can leave it at 68. Try to gather in one room as a family, and just people being together actually helps warm it up too. You know, it's, I guess we're hot-blooded Tlinkits, and we kind of spend a lot of energy just heating ourselves.
People could be saving a couple $1,000s a year just by doing simple things like putting extra blankets on the bed, turning your thermostat down.
If you're really cold and you have your house up to 68 degrees, I would really urge you not to turn your thermostat up. Those little degrees, even though it might be from 68 to 75 degrees, it'll still end up costing you a lot of money.
And just talk about it without directly going and saying, hey, you need to turn your heat down. To say, well, this works for me. You know, I turn the heat off at night, and in the morning I get up a little bit before everybody else and turn the heat back on so they'll be warm when they get up. Things like that. We just have to say, it works for us.
You don't use more than you need. That is not our values. Our values are about using just what is needed and no more.
The second thing is turning your water heater down to about 120 degrees. A lot of times the factory setting is a lot higher than 120 degrees. So you want to make sure you set it to 120 so you're not wasting a lot of fuel and energy and money.
And then another thing to do is to look into getting a on-demand hot water heater. It heats a smaller amount of water but very quickly when you need it. So when you don't need it, you're not using that energy.
We only turn on the hot water when we need to take a shower. We flip it on and then it kicks on. But as soon as we're done, we turn it off right away. And it saves tons on oil.
And the third thing is to apply for the weatherization program. If you haven't taken advantage of it, it would be a great opportunity for you and your family.
It's hard to get money around here. It's just really hard to afford anything. So them going around and making your house more energy efficient, I think is an awesome thing.
It was always cold in here. We actually have a rack up there to put a blanket up to keep the heat in here because it would leak out of that door so bad. It even killed our plants, it was so bad.
The purpose of the weatherization program is to kind of tighten up your house and fix those leaks and holes and stuff that you have in your house. And it might not be so noticeable. It might be underneath your door or maybe a little bit in the back window, maybe the floorboards or maybe in the ceiling. And so those little cracks might not seem significant now. If you put them all together, that's like the whole size of a basketball in your living room wall.
Well, I heard that they were passing out papers for the weatherization and everyone was talking about it, so I went down to OBK and talked to Lloyd and Hank, and I filled out all the paperwork.
There are so many different steps, from the easy things of filling the cracks all the way to insulating walls that have never been insulated, all the way to completely new doors and windows. Not all of those are actually going to be effective in saving you money in your home because they cost so much to do.
The things that it won't do, unfortunately, is it's not going to get you a perfect home. It's not going to build you a new home that's 100% energy efficient and perfect, but it will take those steps to try and improve your home.
I'm not sure exactly what they used, but it was they sprayed it underneath the house and in the attic. And right after they did it, you've seen a big change.
Some of the things that it will do are caulking around your house. It will do insulation. It will do, if you have any drafty doors or windows, it will do drafty doors and windows. If you need a new boiler system, they will look into that.
It didn't cost anything. The whole thing was free. The money we saved, we bought a new refrigerator, a freezer, and an oven. That saved a lot of money.
Most people are going to do work on their house anyways, so why not apply for a program that can help defray some of those costs and take some of the sting out of the process?
We started off first with the weatherization program, had insulation blown in the floor and on the ceiling.
There's a few people that have significantly noticed that they've saved fuel in the wintertime. It's just, all in all, I think it's a really good thing that they're doing that.
I tell everyone to fill it out. It's a lot of work filling out the paperwork, a lot of thinking, but it's well worth it. It's better than spending thousands of dollars to come in to fix your house.
You want to have a good home, something that you work hard for, and so naturally you want to take all of those steps to make sure that your home is secure.
There are multiple options to apply for the weatherization program. The first one being online. The second way, you can call our office and get an application, or call our local THRHA office and get an application from them.
Singit qeynach ch'dasa atqtutlayich ch'as itinach hayati atawa atqtutlayich nach.
We're trying to set a good example for not wasting things for our children. We're teaching them the value of everything, and them watching us waste power it's just unhealthy. We got to set new goals for the next generation to come.
We're here and we enjoy the benefits and the resources of this land, and we take care of it for future generations. That's the price that we have to pay for enjoying the benefits of the land. And so when we waste energy, it sort of contradicts our values of thinking about future generations.
It was kind of an expression in the old days, we'll save some for next year. And that's been our style, and that's the way we grew up. The teachings of our elders, our parents and grandparents, is always save some, no waste, don't waste.
To save is to have more food and be able to do something besides stay home.
Our Tlingit people are resilient. This is not anything we have not come through before. We can make it through these times. We can conserve what we have, use the energy and as efficient as possible. The strength that we get by working together is something that we should rely on.
No matter how hard you try, there will always be a naysayer that will always poo-poo every effort that you make. But if we take care of what we have in front of us, I think in the long run it'll make a difference to the future generations.
Because we have to look into the future and see and help our grandchildren by doing the best we can with our lives.
And that's all, folks. Thank you.